Praise the Lord, saints, and welcome back to FFT, Food for Thought Ministries, where we move with purpose in our walk with Christ over here. My name is RoceeshaMuhammad, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you've been with me since day one, welcome back, family. Today I am here, and I'm going to do a product review on the Bible study. Okay, the Bible study. And this Bible study book is a 1-year study of the Bible and how it relates to you. I've been having these books. I have the New and the Old Testament. This is the New Testament and this is the Old Testament. So I do have both. This was one of the first Bible study books that I got when I really started getting serious with God, when I totally surrendered my life to Him. This was the first Bible study that I got, and I wasn't ready. So I did start it, but I never finished it. And I was led to pick it up today. And I said, oh, did I do a review on this? I don't think I did. So I'm doing a review before I start digging into this because I was led to pick this up today. So I said, let me do a review. But anyway, I got these back in 2020. They was on sale. I don't know what they are now, but if I find the link, I will definitely put it in the description box if you are interested in purchasing this after you see this review. All right, so again, this is the Bible study. I'm sure you've seen all the commercials that they have on it. I haven't seen them as much, but when I bought it, they was popping up like every 5 minutes. So to me, that was a sign for me to purchase these books. Anyway, so the Bible study, 1-year study of the Bible and how it relates to you. And this is a part 1. And they are by Zach Window. Okay, I'm sure you've seen these online commercials everywhere. So let me just pull the Old Testament over here. So let's get into it, y'all. Y'all know this is gonna be kind of long. So you open it up, you got a black, dusty. It's a black and white page here, cover page. The copyright is 2017. And NAF Press Publishing Group. I don't even see where it was printed at. It don't say. Oh, printed in China. It was printed in China. So they have a page here with shout outs. Okay. We have an introduction. Can y'all see this? Let me see. This is how it should be looking, like this, right? Welcome, introduction, the study Bible. And then he has here my search for meaning. And I'm going to read this because this was very interesting. I'm going to read this and then we'll get started in a review. If you don't want to listen through this, just skip ahead. Okay, just go ahead and skip ahead because I'm going to read this. All right, because it was interesting. So here it says, I know that God aligns our path on purpose, and I couldn't be more excited about what He is going to do in your life during this year-long journey together through the Bible. My prayer is not only for you to have a better understanding of the Word, but that you will also find a better sense of meaning for your life and really understand the heart of our Father. He loves you so much. It's amazing. Come on. Yeah, I need y'all to see. And then it says here, before we dive into Genesis, I want to share a little bit about my testimony. Who knows? You and I might even share some things in common. We're in this thing called life together. Let's go. That's one of my words. Let's go. Right? So he starts out with my search for meaning. And he says, well, let's just read it. It says identity. It's what makes you, you. For many of us, it takes years to figure out who we are and what we want to be. For some, it comes easy. For others, it takes a lifetime. We have society, parents, teachers, friends, sibling, girlfriend, boyfriends, all telling us how we should live and act. Why is it so easy for them to see it, but so difficult for us to figure it out? If you're like me, I spent years trying to be the person that everyone else wanted me to be. growing up. People would constantly tell me that I was going to be famous someday and that I should do this or do that with my life. It all came from the fact that I was an entrepreneur. Okay? An entrepreneur. I'm sorry about that horn, y'all. My window open. Apologies. From an early age and had a pretty unhealthy work ethic to back it. But it didn't matter how unhealthy that work ethic was because I was going to be famous someday and be seen with the elite. Or at least that's what I was told. So my head grew and grew and grew and grew. I believed the hype and did all that I could to live it. Come on, did all I could do to live it. You see, I'm a product of my society. I'm a bachelor's degree graduate with 70,000 K in debt from a Christian university, that did anything but spark my interest in God. It actually pushed me further away. Little did I know that the darkness inside of me at the time didn't like the light inside of the students. Funny how that happens. So, after graduating, I had quite a bad taste in my mouth. Come on, y'all. Look at this story. He had a bad taste, and he didn't even like the light in the people in the Christian school. He didn't like the light. But I kept talking the talk. I wrote 2 Christian books my senior year, but I didn't have the nerve to promote them like I should have, since I didn't even believe what was coming out of my mouth. So he wasn't even believing the word of God. Come on. I went on to run a clothing line and recording studio with some friends, which I later left after a few years. I worked on some other entrepreneurial projects after that, but the hard work that I was putting into them was not lining up with the success or lack thereof. Everything that I touched began to fail. I was good though, or at least that's what I told myself. In reality, I had no direction for where to go from there. I remember sitting in my car outside of Starbucks, talking to my buddy, Geoff, about it. I'm sorry. I had never felt so lost in my life. Have y'all been there? I know I was. I know I have been there. If you know me, you know I always... Sorry, y'all. Come on. Gotta get it together. It says I always have a plan, but this time I didn't. I was at the bottom, broken and lost. I had spent the last several years focusing on myself and trying to become the best person I could be. Been there too. But to tell you the truth, I'm weak when I try to live my life on my own. From the outside, everything looked great, but the inside was a whole different story. Even though I thought I was the man, I was still lacking something. My pride was fully intact, but my heart desired more. I started to contemplate what all of this was about. I grew up considering myself a Christian, but I had no idea what that truly meant. I hadn't been following God's call at all. I still believed in him. I just wasn't pursuing him. I hadn't been to church in over a year for the simple fact that I couldn't stand the majority of Christians that I met because I didn't trust them. They all seemed so fake. Come on, tell the truth. I sat there thinking, come on, I'm relating to this guy. Is life really all about going to college, getting a job, getting married, having kids, buying new things, and then hopefully one day retiring so I can enjoy life? Really? That's it? That all seems so shallow to me. Then let's look at religion. Even religion outside of Christianity takes the faith so seriously. Let me read that again. Then let's look at religion. Every religion outside of Christianity takes faith so seriously. It's insane. And then there's us. Come on. We only 30% of Christians even read the Bible. And the fact that a ton of Christians' ideals are pretty skewed from the Bible itself. I was fed up. Come on. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. So I read the Bible front to back in 90 days. I was blown away by how different the Bible actually is compared to how it is presented in America. Come on, somebody. But that's what makes a Christian right. The fact that we believe and follow Jesus. I'm almost done, y'all. Hope y'all enjoying this story because I did. Nothing was lining up. I was confused. So I went on my own, searching for meaning, journey. I quit my job and moved to a little beach town on the sunshine coast of Australia for 9 months to study the Bible for 12 hours a day. That's a pretty big leap, if you ask me. At 27 years old, it may not have been the wisest of decisions, but I wouldn't have changed it for anything. My whole reason for this journey was to build a firm foundation in my faith, one that could not be crumbled by society. And that's exactly what I got, plus more. And that's what my hope is for you, that you are able to build a firm foundation in the faith over the next year, especially in a time when understanding the word is one of the most important things that you can do. It doesn't matter what you have done in the past. What matters is now. Come on, somebody. And then he goes into your search for meaning, right? And then he goes into the layout of this book. Let me pull you back up. He goes into the layout of this book. All right. Sorry, y'all. He goes into the layout. And then here's part of the layout. It's just a whole bunch of beautiful pictures, okay? Study plan for 1 year. Okay, so this is your study plan you're going to get, which is right here. You're going to get week 1 to week 52. So it tells you week 1 is your introduction, Genesis through all the books. This is, again, just as the Old Testament, right? And then here it is. It's telling you Old Testament. I could probably be moving y'all around a little bit, so I apologize because it's a big, nice size book. And then over here, you're going to get 39 books, 25 authors, creation 400 BC. And then here it gives you the layout of the Torah, the first 5 books, the historical books, the prophetic books, and the books of wisdom. And then you get into the beginning, which is the book of Genesis here. It's really big. And in this book, you're going to get it says the Torah, book 1 of 5, right? So it's letting you know what book you're in or what genre part of the book you're in. And you're going to get an author, a date. You're going to get an audience. You're going to get a reason. You're going to get a theme, a key verse. You're going to get your sections and then your keywords, okay? Which is very good. And I like how they do the keywords too. You got, for your keywords, you got covenant, bless, sin, and God said. I really like that. And then here you get the book. So it give you a little general introduction. And then y'all got to excuse my writing because I did start in this, but I did never finish. So we gonna pass this in a second. So then it gives you what to read, right? It says, what did God create / do each day? And then tells you to go read Genesis 1, verses 1 to 2. To read Genesis chapter 1, verses 1 to 2 through 3. My goodness, that was hard to say. So it asks you to write out day 1 of creation, day 2, day 3. So you write out all 7 days of creation, which I did. Then they ask you some more questions here that I answered. I'm just going to try to hurry up and get up off of this because that was my own personal study. And then you come into all these nice, beautiful pictures. God never, breaks his promise. Ain't that awesome? You get big old inspirational, colorful quotes like that. Here again, you go into more questions in regards to it. You have, what did you learn about Satan in Genesis? Answer that. What curses towards women come out of the fall towards men? You write that out. So he just give you all these good questions to dig a little bit deeper. Again, when I started this, I was not ready. I didn't have a clue of what I was reading and having to understand it because I never was digging into the word for myself. I just always let the pastor read And whatever they studied on is what it was. And I just read the scriptures while in church, never went home and studied them on my own like I should have. It wasn't until Corona, I'm telling you, that I started getting into this word. And that was just not even a full 2 years ago. Well, I guess it has been 2 years. March made 2 years. So, again, you get all these nice and beautiful questions here. Then it says the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay. This is a big book, y'all. And then you get your final thoughts here. And then I really like the questions that he gives you down here. It says, how can you apply these truths to your life? So once you get that, you write that down. And you don't have to actually write your answers in the book. You can just have your journal, right? And just write them in there if you don't want to write in the book, so you can keep using it over and over again. So, that's also an option. Again, it just keeps repeating. You go to the next book, which we have here is Exodus. And again, each chapter is going to give you the author, the date, the audience, the reason, the theme, the verse, the section, and the key words. And then it gives you a book introduction, and then you get right into the questions. And it's a lot of them is a lot of self-reflection questions. And that's why I wasn't really feeling it a little bit in the beginning, because I wanted to know about God, right? I didn't want to know about myself. That was my problem. I was self-absorbed. So I didn't want to reflect on myself. I wanted to learn about God. So I wasn't having a connection yet, right? So that's why I had to put it down, because I wasn't there. So anyway, again, you got all these beautiful pages. So I'm just going to, I probably need to pull you up some more so that you can actually see. I'm just going, so this says the Lord, Spirit, the sea. And they passed over dry ground. I don't know if y'all can see that down there. We have this nice picture here of the tabernacle, right? Where they did the sacrifices. Ooh, this was good. I wasn't understanding none of this either when I first opened it up, but now I know what they are. And again, you get these good questions. Now that I know that I've read the Bible from beginning to end, it kind of makes more sense because I'm matured a little bit, right? So I have a better understanding of what I'm supposed to be doing and looking at. So it says, has God ever flipped your life plans upside down, even though you thought that you were doing things right? What happened? And then you answer that. You see how that's about you? You see how that's about you? I wasn't feeling that. I was like, what? I was like, I don't want to know about that, right? So then over here, you got all this different stuff, and then it's asking you, do not have other gods before me. Do not make idols. Do not take the Lord's name in vain. So these is all the different 10 commandments, basically. Then over here is a layout of the tabernacle on your final thoughts, right? How can the teachings of Exodus be applied to your current walk with the Lord? All these different types of questions. And again, it just goes on and on. Let me just flip through some other stuff because it has a lot of different pictures in here. Let me see. What is this? Here's a prophet, charts of some things. Let's write this one. See it a little better. North prophet, south prophet, bad king, good king, so-so king. And then here, north prophet, south prophet. And it gives you a timeline. I don't know if I'm supposed to be filling this out or what, but we got that. What did all those kings do in order to bring the people back into right relationship with God? Then you'll write that out. So these are some good thought-provoking questions. I understand it now, but when I first got it, y'all, again, I was not ready for this. It was too overwhelming. What does this say? What role does Satan play in anti-Semitism, hatred towards the Jewish people? Give at least one historical example of an attempt to wipe out the Jewish race. How should the church respond to anti-Semitism? You see how these kind of questions are? I was like, I wasn't feeling it at the time, but I can get into it now. What else do we learn about Satan from this interaction. And what book is this? This is the book of Job. Look at all these difference. Testing brings perseverance. Testing brings perseverance. So you get a lot of these little poppy colors. Not all advice is good advice. Come on. So true. Again, do you know anybody that has fallen away from their faith because of a trial they went through and in return ended up blaming God for it? What would you say to them? You see what I'm saying? You see, this is why I was like, this ain't what I was looking for at the time. I wasn't looking to be reflecting on that kind of stuff. I wanted to know about God. So this is why I put this down, because it was making me reflect on other stuff other than the word. So anyway, this is basically how this flows. Okay. I mean, it's good to reflect, but I wasn't there. I wasn't trying to reflect. I was trying to learn about my Jesus, even though if you just read, I just want to just show y'all some of these pictures. Bold as a lion, bold as a lion. The questions, I wasn't really feeling them at the time. But now that I know a little bit more, I can probably get into this. But anyway, that's the Old Testament. And then we're just going to do a quick flip through of the this is the New Testament. It's the black one. Again, it's still a one-year study of the Bible and how it relates to you. All right, same layout. You get your introductions, you get your questions, your layout, your reading plan. You got here New Testament now instead of Old Testament. You got your Gospels, your Paul epistles, which is letters, the Hebrew Christian letters, Revelation, and then you got the book of Acts, even though it didn't go in that order. It should have went like that, but again, you get all the books and the dates. You get an overview of the key characters, which is John the Baptist, Jesus, disciples, and Paul. Y'all can see that. And then it continues to tell you who the characters are, give you a little brief synopsis of them. John, Luke, Peter, James, Timothy. You got Paul's first missionary journey, so it gives you a whole route of what Paul did. Okay. More maps. His second, then his third. And then it's still the same layout, right? Same layout. Author, date, audience, reason, theme, key verse, section, and keywords. And then you just move on through this thing. And these is the Beatitudes here. They give you the Beatitudes. Okay, so that's good. I haven't even looked in this book. I wasn't ready. That's all I could say. Now let's read some of these questions. So what does that mean for us? What does that mean for the Jews? I don't even know what the question is. What is the main focus of each of Jesus' 5 sermons? So it'll tell you to go read Matthew 5 and 7, and you're going to answer that question. Matthew 10, Matthew 13, Matthew 18, Matthew 23 through 25. So you're answering the question about what was the focus of his sermons, and then it's saying how do they relate to each other? You'll write your answer out here. Have you ever witnessed God provide in a supernatural way? If so, what happened? You see, this is what does Jesus speak in parables? Why does Jesus speak in parables? It tells you to go read Matthew 13 through 7, right? So these are the kind of questions you get. Here's a picture of so-called Jesus, okay? Final thoughts. Again, same old. Fishers of men, here's a picture of that. So I'm just going through this because it's just basically the same. You have a picture here saying obedience. Let's see what these questions say. How does this story affect your views on abortion? You see what I mean? What does this show about children's discernment of the spiritual realm? How should this influence the way that we raise our children? Y'all see what I'm saying, right? I hope y'all understand what I'm saying about this study book, right? Now, see these, look. Have you been water baptized? When? If not, have you thought about it? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. This was not what I was looking for when I got it. So, anyway, the questions, yeah, the questions was like too reflective for me. I wanted to know, I thought this was going to be like more commentary type of, it's not. It don't have no commentary hardly at all. So you just on your own. I didn't even know what commentary was at the time. I'm saying the word now because I know what it is, like breakdown to give you understanding. So this is not like that at all. If you want commentary and understanding, this book ain't gonna give it to you, right? This is gonna be questions like this. What rules do you see Christians placing on themselves today? What? Tell me about Jesus, right? Have you seen God's blessing on your life? How can you better walk in new understanding? You understand? Y'all get it? I hope y'all understand what I'm saying about these questions. I want to learn about God, Jesus, and it's making me reflect on my life and self, and that's not what I wanted. But anyway, I'm almost done with this, and that's pretty much why I had put this down, because I wasn't trying to reflect on that kind of stuff. Look, in what ways can you imitate Paul today? What? I don't want to. What does it mean to rejoice always? How is that even possible? And then you'll write your synopsis or your question or your answer. I'm sorry. What does Paul tell us to think about in 4 and 8? How can you obey that personally? You see? But that one wasn't that bad. I mean, not that they're bad. It's just all a preference. It's just all a preference. But I'm going to show y'all some workbooks that I like. This ain't the type of workbook I like. At least not the questions. Do you typically tend to look at the positive or negative in situations? What are some ways that you can turn negative situations into positive ones? Again. Again. Right? So anyway, this is how this book is. If you ever thought about getting it or you got it, this is what it's like. Right? It is what it is. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just a preference. It's just a preference, right? It's just a preference. How good of a job are you doing with those 3 commands? Can you improve? Think of some ways we tend to quench the spirit in our lives. You see what I'm saying, y'all? I think y'all get it. I think y'all get what I'm saying. Good fruit. So this is just some more pictures I'm showing you. I'm just trying to go through it and read some of the questions so you understand like how this book flow. Like see, did you need to reconcile any relationship once you became a Christian? How did it go? Okay, I mean, some people may like this. Some people may like this type of style of studying, you know, to like to be reflective and stuff like that. I'm not saying that it's bad though, but I'm just saying I wasn't there. I want the questions to stick strictly to the Bibles and the scriptures. I don't want to be on me. I was already on me. I don't want to be on me, if that makes sense. I want to reflect on the word. But this book has no commentary, or the study guide has no type of commentary, no kind of stuff like that. Y'all see how it's flowing? Y'all see how it's flowing. So anyway, if you was ever interested in getting this, this is how it flows. So if this is you, and this is you like a reflection type of thing on yourself and how you do things and how do you processing and stuff like that, then this would be your thing, right? This would be your thing. It's just not mine, at least not right now. I'm sure it might be a season for this. I picked it up today, but I think I'm gonna put it back down. All right, I'm gonna put it back down because I'm gonna study on something else today. What can you do today to increase in each of those qualities? Make a list of what you need to improve on. So I guess this is trying to help you with application, maybe. And I'm all about application. How can you respond to people who make fun of your beliefs or mock you? You see what I'm saying? Okay, enough of that. So this is basically how this book flows. So if this is your style of workbook, which is not mine, on reflection and talking things out, or what do you think God is love means? You know, I'm just saying. I had to put it down. That's just me personally, right? Not saying that it's good or bad, it's just a preference, okay? So anyway, that's pretty much it for this video, y'all. I'm done. I'm at 30 minutes. So, how do you feel about Revelations? Question. Why do you think so many people choose not to study it? How do you handle criticism? Can you relate to any of the 7 churches? If so, why does John suggest you do regarding that trait? I'm just saying, y'all. I wasn't ready. And I don't think I still am. So anyway, that's it for this. I hope you enjoyed. If you got this book, put it in the comments. Or if you have any of these study guides, if you have any of these books, put it in the comments. Let me know if you're liking them, if you're enjoying them. If this is your style, would you purchase this? The Bible is good for you. Yes, it is. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. No other name. And that is the guy. That's Zach. That's Zach, y'all. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, y'all. So, now I remember why I put them down. Okay? So, here it is. Okay? The Bible study. It may be for you, but it's not for me right now at this time. God bless. Bye-bye.